Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth with your host, Zacchaeus in the Fifth General. What up, Zacchaeus?
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here.
All right, so last week we talked about the whole Shannon Sharp situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And how that went and how we felt that the brother was targeted.
Yes.
I kind of want to revisit a piece of that, not so much of what he's going through specifically, but just a piece of that. But then we're also going to get into some other dating topic issues and stuff like that. I'm gonna have some clips to play for us today. I have a brother who I've been trying to get on this show for probably over a year, but our work schedules kind of, didn't really match up. But I finally got the brother. He's a smart brother, intelligent brother, mature brother. He's got his own platform. I want to bring the brother up, Mr. Gentleman Ron, coming to the stage. What's going on, Ron? How you doing, brother? Yeah, we good. Now, brother, I know you, but let the people know who don't know you, who you are, what you do, and kind of the things that you contribute to the internet and your platform and everything.
Yeah, so my name is Gentleman Ron. That's what I go by on social media. So, I normally talk about, relationships, some trendy topics and stuff that, come about. I like to give my opinion on it. And every now and then, I make funny content. But, pretty much all around, more so like lifestyle and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. How long you been doing content? You have like a year you started, like how long you been doing this?
Man, honestly, bro, high school, bro.
High school?
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Before people really was like on the internet like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me and my friends used to record all the time and post stuff like this when I was like 17, 18.
Oh, yeah. When podcast wasn't so popular, right? At that time.
Yeah. It wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, man. Me and Zacchaeus don't talk about this all the time, but we've been doing internet radio since 2008.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was music based. We were hosting music shows. We had a gospel hip hop radio station that I ran, and he partnered with me, and we used to do radio shows. We didn't start doing a talk show till later on that year. That was still within 2008, and then about 2009, that whole thing kind of like I wouldn't say it fell through, but I guess I could say it fell through. So we come from the old YouTube era when YouTube could only give you clips for 15 minutes. That's the longest video clip you could have.
Yo, I remember that.
Right. So, I'll give my age out. I'm 38.
Okay.
So around this time, this was my college years when I was doing it.
Yes.
And then we had we had a talk show called the First Amendment Show. That was our talk show back in 2008.
Yes.
And we did that for about a good solid 2 years. Then I left radio. Real life happened. I had to do other things. I couldn't really couldn't do the internet thing no more. But up until, around 2017 is when we started this podcast. So, we have a bit of a background too. I'm someone who went to college. I went to college for radio broadcasting.
Oh, nice.
Right. Zacchaeus has learned too.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't, that's in our wheelhouse. I don't, we talk about it from time to time, but so I understand the old internet, and I do understand back when you didn't have podcast platforms yet.
Man,
if you wanted to go live, you had to use Ustream. You had to use like different like things to do streaming.
Live Zone Radio, remember that?
Right, Live Zone Radio was the radio station back in the day. For those who know, You know,
Yeah.
you know, but so not to make it about me, but I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I think that's pretty dope. Okay, so we're gonna get into the topic, man. So there's a few things we want to touch. So I specifically wanted Ron on the show because I know what he talks about. so I know what he talks about. So that's why I was like, good. A mutual friend of me and Ron introduce us, you know, to each other. Because he heard my content and he knows his content. And he felt, hey man, I think y'all two would really partner up and do some good content. You know, he'd be nice to have on your show. I said, okay, I met him. He's been a stand-up brother ever since I met him. So it's just glad to get him on the show. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna play a clip and we're gonna respond to it. Okay. So let's pull this up. Let's see. Here we go.
You coming through? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. We go ahead and refresh it and let it play. Come on, technical difficulties. Don't do this now.
I'd be tired of getting called intimidated because we don't be liking some of y'all. Saying it's all women, I would never say that. What I will say is that I think men lead with their accomplishments, lead with their material, lead with their, and because we all are in success, same mind, some women do that too. Shorty, I don't give a about most. Talking about you're not likable.
Hold on.
Them last 8 years in college, what a person do you got in campus still? Shorty, you don't.
We're having a difficult.
I'm not trying to take away from what anyone has accomplished. It's just to say that like some people really are lack.
Oh wow!
Oh, he left. Oh, he come back.
I think he. I hope he didn't step out, but yeah.
Oh, it's still live recording, huh?
He's still recording, yeah. Or he probably went out and he tried to tap into it again. Okay, here we go.
Oh, just did that to me.
Hey, technology, man. Technology.
Hey, you know what? And I hope StreamYard is paying attention to the stream. Every time I play clips, y'all act up on me. What's up with that? Y'all gotta come on, y'all gotta chill with that. All right, we're gonna do this again. It always happens when I play a clip. We ain't had no problem until I play the clip.
Right.
All right, now I gotta restart this. This is crazy.
Technology, man. You know,
oh man,
we all over.
No. Witches.
I'm telling you, yo, it's so crazy. All right.
Yeah, I see it.
Y'all see it on the screen?
Yeah, I see it on the screen. Yep.
Okay, all right. We're gonna let it play. We're gonna let it play.
Getting called intimidated because we don't be liking some of y'all. I ain't saying it's all. What I will say is that I think a good amount of women hate when men lead with their accomplishments, lead with their material, lead with their position in life. And because we all learn success from this. You're not likable. You got. It's all you talking campus still, shorty. You don't like I'm not trying to take away from what anyone has accomplished. Awareness and think because they've accomplished so much on paper that that translate to be
technical difficulty. Oh no. But yeah,
equal
trying to understand what he's saying though.
each other.
I'm gonna let it
I
play.
be tired of getting called intimidated because we don't be liking some of y'all. I ain't saying it's all women. I would never say that. What I will say is that I think a good amount of women hate when men lead what they accomplish, lead with their material, lead with their position in life. And because we all learn success from the same model, some women do that too. Shorty, I don't give a about most of that you talking about. You're not likable. Them last 8 years in college, all the personality you got. It's all the you talking campus still, Shorty. You don't like I'm not trying to take away from what anyone has accomplished. It's just to say that like some people really have or lack self-awareness and think because they've accomplished so much on paper that translates to being a good person in everybody else's life, and it don't. It does not. Being accomplished does not make you likable. They don't even kind of equal each other.
Oh, I hope y'all was able to get the gist of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
So,
yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Ron a question, right? So Ron, why do you think? I have to kind of draw this out. The reason why I played that clip is because what you see is often you'll find some women out here, and God bless them, they've accomplished things from a societal stand, as far as contributed to society in terms of hardworking, maybe business owners, maybe leading positions at their job, on a collegiate level, income, whatever. They talk about all these things when they approach the dating field. And then they wonder why they're not getting a man. And then when they get the man, they say that the man that they had was intimidated by all the outwardly success that they had. And the problem is they lean on that as to means, well, I have all these things. Why is it that the men don't see me as a quality mate? The point that he was making was you have those things, you throw that around, but then you want to say the man is intimidated when that's not the case at all. Maybe the man just don't rock with you.
Yeah, facts.
So my question to you is, why do you think women of that category lead with that?
Man, this is a good one, man. I actually encountered that myself when I was single and dating. You know, you meet women, oh, I'm a nurse and I'm going to be a doctor. And it used to be kind of weird to me because it's like you were saying, like your profession is not like who you are. You know, congrats, you want to help people and all that, but I'm trying to get to know you. But I think the issue is like, I think women now are trying to like compete with men.
Yeah.
And what they're failing to realize, you're trying to compete with us. You can't really find love trying to compete with a man. And we're not in competition. And, you know, the whole feminist movement, you know what I'm saying? Girl, you know, get your money up, get your degree. I think it's brainwashed them so much to think that, okay, I'm going to get all these things and now I can compete with men and he better respect me and all this. And I just think it's kind of messing things up because that's not how it's supposed to be. So a lot of women come into situations like that. And also, unfortunately, they have met successful men that make them feel less than because they may not have as much. So you have women, they're like, well, I gotta get me all this success so they'll respect me. And I just think you got toxic men, you got toxic women, and they coming together and it's just not working, bro. I just think that's what it is, bro.
Okay, stay right there. I got more.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hand it to Mike Zacchaeus. Okay. Could you also say that those women are in that category are projecting their feelings onto the man that they want to pursue them? That's one part of the question. Second part of the question is usually typically when women accomplish a certain income, their idea is to date up, right?
Yeah.
So the men that they are competing against on that level, collegiate, financially, is the outcry because those men that are in their circle are not choosing them, and that's another reason why. And that's another reason why they're projecting that men are intimidated.
You know, I think with that too, you know, successful men tend to have like options, you know.
Yeah.
And I think for them, like you said, they may feel like the man's intimidated, but like you said, he may not be intimidated. You just may not be his cup of tea. And he's gonna pursue the other women that he likes. It's not because, oh, you know, you're a doctor. No, there's certain things you don't really like about you. And he has other women to choose from. And I think some women, they want to convince themselves, oh, he's intimidated by you. No, he's not intimidated.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He just ain't the one. He's not into you. You know, sometimes it's like some women, they head be so far up their butt, they gotta realize not every single man's going to like you. That's just Some people are gassed up that every man has to like them. Oh, he don't like that. He don't want no real woman. No, he don't want you.
He wants you. That's the bottom line. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good point. Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, similar question. You know, we've talked about this in the past.
Yes.
So give your opinions on the video, and then the question I'm gonna ask is, are women or successful women, quote unquote, prioritizing their accomplishments, but not prioritizing the internal things like character that may make them a more viable candidate for someone who wants a wife or whatever?
Well, that's a fact, because they rather show all their accolades, they rather show all their accomplishments and lean with that. Look how much money I'm making and lean with that, and thinking that is the end all do all, not knowing that a man is not looking for yes, foundation is important, but he's not just not only the solely thing you depend on, because the truth of the matter is, if you have let's just face it, if you have a nasty attitude and you have like an arrogant, like, and you're always angry all the time, no man gonna want to be around someone like that. They're gonna be like, listen, she has all the accolades, she has everything. She can even feed me. Shoot, she can feed my whole household and everything. her attitude and behind closed doors, she has all the accolades that all the people have, and I mean they have all the accolades and everything like that, all the praises they get and all the accomplishments. You see their plaques on the wall of I'm Dr. This, I'm so and so and so and so, and you wonder why you scratch your head that they're still lonely. After all this time, they're still lonely, still searching for that number one, that Superman that can sweep them off their feet. But you know what the Superman is saying? He's like, yeah, but sister, you got an attitude.
Yeah.
You're kind of rubbing me the wrong way. I mean, you got this like, I'm supposed to cater to you. This entitlement, and some of them are delusional. Let's face it. They want us to cater to them because I'm Mr. So-and-so, I'm Mr. So-and-so. You treat me as such. You talk to me, you can't joke around with them. You can't be yourself around them. You can't just relax around them because they're so uptight. And you say to yourself, I'm like, yeah, you got all these accolades, but I don't feel comfortable around you because you come off, you're too sensitive. If I say something jokingly, you might get upset and bite my head off. Now, why would I want to walk down the aisle with you?
Yeah, that doesn't sound peaceful at all.
Why would I want to walk down the aisle with you? Why would I want to imagine spending your life with, know what the Bible says about you better being a desert alone, but being with a contentious woman.
Yeah,
you know about that. You know, I mean, you know, a quarrelsome woman. quarrelsome woman, always fussy, always on the edge. You're like, listen, I can't even relax around you because, you got all these accolades. You're Miss So-and-so. You're the top RN of your hospital. You're executive. All these titles and everything like that. Yeah, but at the end of the night, you're still hung on your pillow alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're still hugging your pillow alone and possibly putting it between your legs too.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to understand, man. I mean, character goes a long way. I could listen. I could date a waitress. She could be a waitress, right? She could be a waitress, but we enjoy each other's company. We enjoy each other's company. If I can't enjoy your company, then all these accolades, it wouldn't mean anything. Attitude-wise, character-wise, no. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, check this out. Regardless of what a woman says, at some point her nature is gonna go to default settings, and I'll say it this way. So you'll have a lot of women who will say, "Oh, well, what do I need a man for? I make 6 figures now. I if I need protection, I got a gun in the house. If I need this, I'll call someone to do it. But that obviously calling someone to do it is probably a man to do it, right? But they'll still require a man in their life to be what they are and more.
Right.
So my question is, what exactly are you flaunting? It's not a flex to accomplish so much in your life just so you can say, I don't need any help, or I don't need no one in my life.
Right.
First of all, it don't matter. Listen, God said man cannot live by bread alone. God said that. Okay.
Yes.
So he already said, basically he told the man, he humbled man and said, it don't matter how much you accomplish, I still got to give you a helpmate. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. I want people to understand this biblically, right? Adam technically was a rich man. How do we know? Because he was given dominion over the earth, the animals, every flying animal, every land animal, every beast of the sea. He had the garden. The garden was his own. See, the earth was his own, pretty much, right? So think about it. In that sense, in that currency back then, Adam was made rich and wealthy, but Adam still was alone. And this is why God said, I'm going to give him a helper. But here's the thing. Eve was a helper. A lot of the women out here were not taught to be Eve. Well, sorry. Okay, they were taught to be the Eve of deception, but not necessarily the helping part. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Eve that listens to snakes, they were taught that, right? Sadly, but not the Eve, but not the Eve who actually is supposed to be the helpmate. And so the reason why is that, Key, as you mentioned, you could date a waitress if she's pleasant to be around.
Yeah.
You know why? Because when men are looking for a wife, it's not dependent on an income. But when a woman is looking for a husband, it is.
Yes. Foundation. Yep, that's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say. Yep.
So one of the things that women have to understand is that this is a competitive world. If you want that wealthy man, by all means, cool. But guess what you got to do? You got to get him.
Facts.
Gotta get in line.
Because not only do you want him, the 6-figure lawyer, but Tasha from Popeyes want him too.
And let's face it, gentlemen. Let's face it. There's a reason why they call them the one. There's a reason why they call rich folk the 1%. Yeah. It's not much.
It's not much. Not much.
Ron, you get on. You get in on this. Get in on this. Pretty much to what I last said about the options. The reason why a man of means may have more options versus a woman of means is more in the mentality and what she's willing to go for versus what he's willing to go for. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, it all comes down to women trying to do what men do. See, a man really can't move like a woman. Now,
No.
and y'all know that's nothing against, a community, but it just doesn't not how things work. Mother Nature, that's just not how things work.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is people trying to get an edge on one another, and it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a successful man, he is going to catch the eye of a lot of women. And sometimes they may indulge in those options. But women got to realize you can't try to compete with a man in that area. Trying to talk about how much money you have, all your degrees. Like I said, a lot of men that are successful, they really don't care. You can have a bad female that working at McDonald's and a man that's a millionaire pulling the drive through and see her. He gonna want to see what's up. He don't care.
That's right. That's a fact.
If she's nice and she's greeting him, and he's like, "Whew."
That's a fact.
I like a person that he's looking at. He just feels got a job. She working,
Yes.
Like you were saying, character, bro. Character. A wealthy man is not worried about no woman being no doctor, no lawyer.
Nah, yes, facts.
It's just I've seen it, man. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I just think that mentality with women thinking they can get all the success and just do whatever they want. I just think it messes up the dating game for sure. They're misled. That's not really how you find love. You feel me?
Yeah.
Well, they always strive. You know what they want to lean on is that I want to be a power. I hear women say that. I used to hear women say that's maybe about 2-3 years ago. I hear women say, I want to be a power couple. I want to be a power couple. I want to be a power couple. I'm like, a power couple, but what about start being humble? And building yourself from the ground up.
But Zacchaeus, they're just talking because they see Jay-Z and Beyonce get married.
There you go.
And so they think that, but they don't know what kind of wife Beyonce is at home. They don't know the level. This is a guess, I don't know, but they don't know the level of femininity that she displays to Jay-Z. As a matter of fact, Jay, she still believes in being biblically submissive to her husband. Show me a woman who makes about as much money as Beyonce who's willing to be submissive to her man. There's not many.
Not many.
What'd you say, Ron?
Very rare.
Exactly.
Very rare. Very rare. I was watching a show the other day. A woman said on the panel, because they were talking about Shannon and that girl, right?
Oh yeah.
They were saying that, and they kind of deviated, but they was like, when you're going 50-50 with a man, then you're going to get 50% of my submission.
Oh, man.
And then another woman said, well, a man who takes care of everything 100% can demand more submission. You know what a guy said on that show following that? He said, then why is it that the woman who gets 100% taken care of still files for divorce?
Checkmate.
Yeah.
Because the point is, if your femininity is based off the transaction of how much I take care of you, then that means that's conditional. So that means I could be taking care of you 100%. I could be married to a woman for 4 years. In year 5, I lose my job. Oh, so that means I'm not going to have a cooperative wife anymore?
No.
What would you say to that, Ron? Like, what would your response be to that?
And it comes down to this, man. That means that woman never really loved that man. That's
oh, come on.
Never loved him. Action, you're buying. And another thing, a lot of guys gotta stop buying love thing. I've seen women stick beside a man, like hold to him like glue when he got all that money, success, but something happens, all of a sudden, things is different now. I'm not. The money ain't there. You gotta get someone who loves you, man. That's
exactly. True love. True love. That's right. Yeah. Right.
Right. And and look, we're talking about a marriage. We're not talking about a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. I can understand the arguments could be whatever whatever it is. But in a marriage situation, my thing is they'll say because you're not impressed by their degrees and by their income that you're intimidated. But I have a question, Ron, and then I'm gonna hand it to Zacchaeus. Those women in that category will date a man who makes less money than them and then say, oh, I'm gonna just broaden my horizon because I'm just looking for love, right? They'll get with the man who makes less money than them. How do that woman treats that man once she's in a relationship with that guy because she views it as dating down? How you think a woman would treat a man who has that mindset because she's not dating a man who makes the same that he makes or more? How you think she would treat that?
If she has that mindset you just talked about, she's gonna treat him like he's less than her, because if she's basing a man off of finances and all that, well, she's gonna look at him like he's not a man. And that's the unfortunate thing that happens with a lot of women who make more than other men. Like, I met a girl one time, she told me she made like $150,000 a year, and she was like, I need a man that makes more. I said, I'm gonna be real with you. I said, it's gonna be really hard to find that. A lot of men don't really make that. And if they do make that, they're probably not really home all the time. And it's just like, in her mind, if she doesn't find a man that makes that, then he's not worth anything. And I said, hey, you're probably missing out on a lot of blessings because you're limiting yourself. You're going to make a lot of money because of your profession, but not everybody's a lawyer. So I'm like, don't you, so yeah, I just think those type of women, man, it's going to be hard. Like, you got a good man making less than you, and you feel like, oh, he's not equipped to be my guy. It's like you're probably missing out. Because at the end of the day, if you can take care of yourself and he's taking care of yourself and y'all combine and become one, none of that should matter.
That's right. Exactly.
Sounds like they don't want to be one. Sounds like they just want to be coddled, like in weird, man. It's very odd.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the mic to Zacchaeus in 1 second. I'm gonna stay with you, Ron. Okay, so you're right about that. But Ron, they will say that man was intimidated. So what they'll do is they'll have the success that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
They'll talk to him any kind of way, disrespect him, treat him a certain way, and then they'll say that that man was intimidated. The thing is, when a woman tells me that she was with a man and he was intimidated by her income, I always ask a rule of questions. And one of the things that I ask is, okay, define intimidated. And they come up with some definition that ain't even Webster's. I don't even know what it is, right? It'd be their dictionary, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll say stuff like, well, they'll give an example. Well, I wanted to pay. We were gonna go on a trip to the Maldives. I don't know why you're going there, right? Yeah. We're going to the Maldives, and he said he couldn't afford the plane ticket, but I could. I said, okay. And, well, he felt intimidated because he couldn't purchase the ticket. Just because the man can't afford. And then I said, what kind of ticket is this? Oh, well, it was first class. I said, wait a minute. I said, so the man couldn't afford a first class ticket and he communicate with that with you. And then you trying to tell me that he was intimidated that you could? She was like, well, yeah. Don't you think? No, it ain't about what I think. Was the man intimidated? And so this is the thing, is that I never been in a situation or never heard a man say that when he makes more than his woman that she's intimidated. Have you?
Never.
Nah.
Never. That don't exist. Okay.
So why is it that when the woman makes more, all of a sudden the man is intimidated?
What
that
is that?
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make no sense.
It really doesn't. I don't get it. I don't know. I think it's they try to psych themselves out. Like I don't know. It's just odd. I don't get it either, man. they need some prayer, man. I don't know.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Well, and to also go to your observation, Ron. You talked about how she said meeting a man who makes $150,000. You said, well, it's not going to be easy getting a man, who makes that much. What she missed the point that she is a very within the elite of the women who makes the money that she makes, because not a lot of women make that either. As a matter of fact, women still make less than your average man in mass. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to the lady who accomplished this. But here's the thing. You wanted the money. Now you wanted the money. With great power comes great responsibility. Ain't that what Uncle Ben said to Spider-Man? Peter Parker, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Zacchaeus. Right. Zacchaeus, go ahead, man.
Man, I've heard of stories, seen it, and possibly seen people that experienced it. Women that they're with somebody, but she makes more, and has a little arrogant attitude because of that. She makes it get to her head, makes it swollen, her head get swollen.
Yeah.
And she treats her guy. He's like it's like Jezebel, the story of Jezebel, where like Jezebel was dominant over her, tried to be dominant over her husband. And she's not a nice person, but she's dominant over them. She disrespects them in every way. If they have kids, she disrespects them in front of the kids. She says all type of things about him. She calls him out of his name. She definitely does this. She compares him to men that's making more money than he is, and she brags about men that's making more money and thinks that he wants to hear that. She very, very like just downright disrespectful to him, meaning that it's like she dominates him. So she says, "Oh no, you ain't gonna see your mama. Your mama don't like me," and the mama has a reason why. The mama has a reason why she don't like her. She sees it. Sometimes older folks see things that you don't see. You can be with somebody and they see things that you just don't see, or other your friends may see things that you don't see. But she's domineering and she's controlling, and because she's disrespectful, she has a control. She also has a controlling spirit. So meaning that it's like, and people see it. Maybe he don't see it, because I've heard of a friend. He was with this woman for a long time. I think they were married, but they're not divorced. Like he finally got the he probably got the confidence to walk out. But she used to hit him in private. And because she made way more than he did, she complained that he's not doing enough, not doing this and not doing enough, to a point. This is no lie. I don't want to call it name. I know who I'm talking about. To a point where she even cheated on him.
Oh man,
because respect is bigger than love, right? Oh, and if you can't respect me, that means you don't love me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Straight up.
And if you can't respect them, you compare them to other men, and what do you think is going to happen? And he's staying it. He's trying to deal with it. He's trying to work it out with you, and trying to deal and trying to be with you, and trying to work things out with you, and try to please you, and it's still not enough because you have a blue collar. You're a blue collar worker, and she makes all this money, but yet she dominates you, and she tries to control you, and tries to say, you know what, I control this, and I'm getting the head of all this, and I control this, and she pulls you to her family. You can't go see your family. Every time you try to go see your family, it's always an issue. She's bringing up issues. She's bringing up problems. You heard of? I'm sure, gentlemen, you heard of Gentleman Ron. I'm sure you heard of people with situations.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you did. So. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's very problematic.
Yes. And you gotta say to yourself, could you stay in this relationship? That's a question you have to ask yourself as a man.
God, you crazy.
Yeah.
I would say this, as a man who, who's if you're a man who's successful and you accomplish what you need to do, you need to treat your woman with respect. I don't think the money that you got means that you could talk to your woman any kind of way. So I wouldn't endorse that either.
Right.
Because I know a lot of women will watch certain podcasts and the man will say, "Well, I pay all the bills, so she need to just accept me cheating. Well, I pay all the bills, so she need to accept me telling her to shut the heck up every now and then." No, I don't support that.
No,
but the point that I'm trying to make is that, lady, does he do the important things that you need? You know what I'm saying? And and we're not going to go to the extremes, because a lot of times you'll get an extreme story from the types that project. Let's go to your example, Ron. The woman making $150,000 a year, she'll get with a man who makes $75,000 a year, and she'll say that's not enough. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'll give it sticking within that same thing. Okay, the man who makes $75,000 a year, right? He probably could still buy a house somewhere. She's gonna ask him, I've seen this happen. A man and a woman were trying to date each other, right? She's like, "You got a house?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And he asked her, "You got a house?" She was like, "Yeah, I do." You know what she asked him next? She said, "How many bedrooms is this house?" And he goes, "Oh, I got a 2-bedroom house." 2-bedroom? That's all? And it's like, well, what's the problem? The man got a house. Like, what?
Yeah.
What's the big deal? And she got a 5-bedroom house with her $150,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now throw the whole man away, because the man got a 2-bedroom home, and you got a 5-bedroom home. Lady, if you were smart, you would get married. Lady, if you were smart, this man owns a home. That means that there's a responsibility, there's a work, there's an ambition, there's a story, there's a testimony that he comes from that got him to that point where he got a 2-bedroom house. You don't even know where he came from. The man could have came from the streets, from the bottom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he has all these other things you like about him. But the moment he tells you he got a 2-bedroom house and makes only $75,000 a year, that don't work for you, because you got a 5-bedroom house. So then my question is, lady, if you would have met the man who made more money, what? In order for that to work out, he got to have a 6-bedroom house?
Nah, for real.
I mean, why does the goalpost keep getting moved yard after yard after yard? Once that particular woman, that is, some, not all, but when that particular woman wants to make a man, why would she cancel that man out? Ron, respond to that. Let me get your response.
It simply goes to, they don't really know what they want, and they don't really know how to date. They just don't. A lot of women, unfortunately, they weren't guided on the proper ways to date or be courted. They don't know. They're moving off of greed. Like, I mean, okay, you got a 5-bedroom house, you got a 2-bedroom house. I mean, what? If it's just him by himself in the house, what does he need all these rooms for? And why?
Exactly. Yeah.
To me, it just some people just ignorant. That just sounds like an ignorant one. Like, what does that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, like Jesus didn't have much of nothing, right?
Right.
But it's like he was one of the greatest human beings to walk the earth. You feel me? So a lot of women, they think with a worldly, greedy mind, bro, and it's that you're just struggle dating, man. That's all I'm saying.
Ron, if Jesus was walking this earth today, there would be women telling him that he don't make enough money.
Bruh.
Use your common sense.
Walking right by.
Facts.
You got. I'm pretty sure you got women out here. Let me tell you something, Ron. You've seen Pop the Balloon.
Oh, don't get me started.
Ron, if Jesus was on Pop the Balloon, they would say he's too short.
Me with this.
Bro, that immediately.
Pop.
Automatic, bro.
Pop. What you do for a living? He be like, what you do for a living? I'm a carpenter. Oh. Pop.
No, facts.
Pop.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all right. I do need to move on to the next video. Oh my God. I want y'all to peep this mess right here. Yo, the double standards win again. Y'all come. I hope y'all ready for this one. Okay, let's get this going.
About this, often I date younger men. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is because
let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracee's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracy tale.
But I'm sorry. But one of the reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous? There's that. I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. A lot of
listening to him, I feel like
if you understand anything about male nature, we're just attracted to beauty, we're attracted to fertility, we're attracted to peace. And sometimes you tend to find those qualities in younger women. The older women normally do come with the baggage. They might come with the kids. They might, come with the same shit mentality. When he says, your young women give me grace, it's easier. They're more cooperative. A lot of women on this show says, I need a man that I can learn from. You can learn something, obviously, when you're younger and the guy is much older, you're more willing to compromise. You're more willing to compromise and follow his lead. This is universal across the world. Like, men have always been attracted to younger women, just like how women have been historically attracted to older men. If you understand anything about men.
I know you guys heard of like the Marcus Houston situation. That situation is crazy. He met her when she was 17. So in that same note, no shade, homie. We didn't have that energy for her. And she did because it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
That is a great point.
We can literally laugh.
He was trained, sir. And
of course, you're gonna say that now, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, in my defense, he did not look his age.
Look, I know you guys heard.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I played those for a reason, right? I play those, bro. I see Ron's face already. I'm gonna go to you, Ron. I play that for a reason. There's a hypocrisy going on. Miss Ross did a video. That interview was before Shannon's scandal, right?
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp scandal, for those who don't know. And there's a hypocrisy here. I'm gonna lay it out this way, Ron. Check this out. Tracee Ellis Ross wasn't age specific, but her metaphor to dealing with men her age or older, the word she used was most of those men have toxic masculinity. That's a feminist buzzword. Would you agree or disagree with that, Ron?
They love that word, bro. I hear that so much. Bro.
Yeah.
She said that, I immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna read this real quick, and then I'm gonna get to my question, Ron. According to Google, I asked, "What is toxic masculinity?" Right? It says it refers to the harmful and restrictive cultural expectations about how men should behave, which often leads to negative consequences for men, women, and society as a whole. It encompasses a narrow and often damaging view of manhood characterized by suppressing emotions, maintaining an appearance of toughness, and using violence as a display of power. Okay. So Tracee basically said that she dates younger is because she feels that they're a little more, I guess they're less toxic per se, like she says, right? She said that she is a full, whole woman, her words, embodied, and she's had control over her life. And she felt like being in relationship with the guys her age and older, which, by the way, Tracy's like, what, 50?
52.
52, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my thing is, when that over Shannon Sharp says that he wants to date younger because he feels that the women his age are too set in their ways. He's not going to use the words toxic femininity, but, you know, he'll just say, you know, they don't listen to you. They got like the brothers on their clip said, the baggage, the kids, with all this other stuff. He won't get a hand clap for saying that.
At all.
So that's why I said the hypocrisy. And last week, I mentioned, me and Zacchaeus were talking about the double standards. Why is there a movie called How Stella Got Her Groove Back, but there's not a movie called How Ty Ty Got His Groove Back? Ron, speak to the hypocrisy.
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a book, bro. The women that be mad at men and talking about they like younger, it's because they getting older and those men they looking at don't want them and they getting jealous. We just like little girl, da 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 da. But like you said, a woman says it's all hand claps, and that's what I'm saying. To me, that right there is like toxic. Like you say it's disgusting for a man, but now a woman want to do it. It's like how we could play the game too. Okay, play the game. You're gonna be single and you're gonna just be sleeping with a bunch of dudes. Like you 52, right? You talking about like younger men, you still single. On a talk show talking about how you like younger men, you want a relationship, but you're like still single at 52, posting like sexy, seductive pictures on IG. It's really a fail to me, to be honest. And to me, it just shows that she just has a bad choice when it comes to dating men. Not every older man you met was moving like that. And if that's the case, you just suck at choosing men. I hate to say it. Yeah, man. I just think a lot of women, they just be hating the simple fact that these men with high status, they do like younger women. And you're, I guess if you like in your mid-30s or whatever, you mad. Man, you gotta get in where you fit in, man. Like, at the end of the day, there's somebody that's gonna like you. You better stop going after the men that you clearly see like younger women. I mean, I just don't understand the outrage and what a person likes. Man. It's just crazy to me. See, men, we don't be tripping when they say that. We just be tripping off the fact that they call us disgusting.
Yeah.
Because we like, but they do it. It's just like, don't say nothing to us. Don't try to control us. We gonna do what we want. Women empowerment.
They're applauded. They're applauded when they go after young. They're called cougars. They even giving them a name, a good name called cougars. Yeah. So they're applauded when they go out, when they date younger men. They're applauded, but us, they call us. Oh, they're
pedophile,
perverts,
perverts, predators.
Predators. Oh, why is these women so young? Oh, he's a pervert. They give men all this bad name and everything. But yeah, that's a fact. So the truth of the matter is, man, dating Tracee Ellis Ross. I don't know. You know what? To me, I'm sure in her lifetime she had men that was decent, that approached her, wanted to date her, wanted to probably even marry her. Mm-hmm. But you know what it is? Her ways and her attitude and character kind of like rubbed them off the wrong way. They're like, you know what? I'll pass. Yeah, I'm older than her, but I'll pass. Because you heard what she just said. She said that men that are older, where we like, she don't like that dominance. In other words, these women these days, some I have to say some women. I can't say all, but just some. They go against the Bible. They don't want to be submissive. They don't want to be like, well, my husband is the authority of the house, so I have to go to him first. They just listen. I want to control, man. So she wants to go for the younger dude, so she can have that leverage of control and be like, listen, I control this, and I do this and I do this. She's a grown woman, but she wants a younger guy so she can dominate. That's what it is.
Yeah, but her aggressive teachings that she has been taught of feminism is going against her nature and it's failing her.
Oh yes,
that's really what it is. Here's the thing, Zacchaeus, and I'm gonna give the mic back to you. Her feminine nature is at war with her ideology. Okay? It's almost like a demonic possession.
Yeah.
She wants to not lead. I'm sorry. Okay. Her nature wants her not. She is put in a position where she could just be the woman in a relationship, not lead, not make all the plans, not do everything, right? But just be the very thing that she needed to a man, a good man, decent man, right? She'll probably get with a guy like that. But you know what feminism will tell her? You're weak. You're soft.
Yep.
And we don't teach you this. Yep. We need you to be a pit bull, just like the men.
Yep.
And then when the men respond, that masculinity all of a sudden is toxic.
Checkmate.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's a problem.
Yes.
And that's what I see. Ron, you said, that your opinion of her and the point that she's gotten to and how she speaks on Michelle Obama's show is that she is behaving like a failed woman.
Yeah.
Ron, she has a lot of followers and she does influence a lot of women.
Yeah.
What I'm getting from her is that not only is she living the way she lives, but she's also teaching other women to live the way she lived.
Yeah.
And that is not successful. And she says that she's a happy woman. Ron, that doesn't sound like a happy woman to me.
Sounds alone and used.
Checkmate.
To be honest, because she's not an ugly woman. I mean,
nope.
Any young man's gonna experience that. I mean, if that's what she wants, if she's dating around, right? I don't know, man. It just sounds weird to me. Like she needs to grow up.
Yeah.
You right. Her mother is Diana Ross. We got to keep that in mind. I don't know what Diana taught her. I really don't. But this is a Hollywood. She's a Nepo baby, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she has seen, whether in the music industry and the Hollywood industry, she's seen her mother. She's seen the experience. I'm pretty sure she's quite familiar with Berry Gordy too.
Of course.
Just like her mother is. Not to throw a shot. But, I'm pretty sure there's some things there. Also, you know, Tracee Ellis is biracial. I mean, they may play a factor to some degree. I won't get into that, but I mean, there may be something there with that. But understand that something happened to her, and you know what? No matter what I see of her, and no matter what movies and shows she does, she reminds me so much of her character from the show Girlfriends.
Oh yes, yes.
It's almost like that's who she really is. That's why she played that part so well.
Yeah, because the two members on that show, if you look at that show, they were all single women. One got married.
Okay, you had one that started the show married.
Yeah.
And then you had another one who got married, but she was a gold digger.
Oh, she was a big time gold digger. I don't know if you ever watched the show, Gentlemen.
It's been a while for me, but what y'all was saying, I do remember.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old Ron is.
34.
You 34?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's old enough to know the show.
Yeah, you know the show. Yeah, you know.
But he gets the gist of what I'm talking about as far as the character.
Yes, yeah.
And the thing is that that show, those were women who were already of a certain age, aging into a further age, and you know, sadly, there were women on that show that were just getting ran through and just collecting bodies. And the more they collected bodies, the less they was able to emotionally connect with a man afterwards because of all of the things that they kept tying to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Those experiences. Life, let me tell you what life is not about. You know, when God made this earth, it wasn't designed for all of us to experience a whole bunch of women. For men for women to experience a whole bunch of men, just to the point where they can get married. That's not how things were designed.
Right.
Because you know what? And I'm gonna hand this to Zacchaeus, because the problem is when a woman such as, because we're talking about Tracee Ellis Ross, and you know, she talks about her dating past and all that, and I don't know how many men she's been with, but here's the thing: when a woman opens herself up to too many experiences, she gets the comparing. So then when she goes further, she's like, oh, well, John didn't do the things that Tommy did, and Tommy didn't do the things that Charles did, and Charles didn't do the things that Jacob did, and Jacob did. You got all of that on you. And so now when you actually get into a position where you actually meet a decent man, you, ma'am, are going to mess that up.
Checkmate.
Oh yeah.
Zacchaeus, speak to that.
Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact, because when she meets a decent man, sometimes God puts men in your way, decent guys in your way. But you know what? Like you said earlier, the ideology and their ideologies, it just ruins it. This Me Too movement, the feminism movement, it just ruins it. It ruins it, and it kind of turns men off. It rubs them off the wrong way, because it goes into it blends into the character, and it's like, oh no, I can't date her. Yeah, she's a famous movie star, she's a famous actress. Yeah, Tracee Ellis Ross, but I can't date her. And they wind up saying that, or they dated for a few months, and then they realize that. You know what? I just picture myself married to her and living with her. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. And they said they come with these conclusions. Why? Because it's her ideology and what she says and how she thinks and she acts it out. And it's not a humble spirit. It's more of a like an aggressive spirit. I'll take over kind of spirit. I'm not humble, not meek enough to say, okay, let's compromise. And that's the biggest thing in relationships. Sometimes being understanding of each other, trying to understand each other, trying to enjoy each other's company. And like I said before, if she's a person that's 52 years old and never Haven't met anybody. She met people. I'm sure she met guys that were decent and
she
guys that
dates.
and she dated her, and guys that tried to work things out. They tried, and they realized that you see, that's one thing with us men. We gotta it's gotta be like we know when it's the right one. Yeah. God puts it in the spirit to know when it's the right one. Some of us. But some of us, we're blinded. We just see the beauty, we see that booty, and we gone. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
Buttermilk biscuits.
Exactly. And then we gone. But some of us that don't let the flesh control us so much. We just we think more rational, and then we realize that, listen, I'm not gonna be a simp for her. I'm not gonna tolerate this. I'm not gonna tolerate all this disrespect. I'm not gonna tolerate all this talking down to me. I'm not gonna tolerate all this this attitude. You know what? I want to move on. Nice, respectably. I'm gonna move on. And this is where you be. I'm gonna say it. You be 32, still single. Yeah. 42, still single.
Yep.
52, still single.
Zacchaeus, I'm gonna give you a nice little jewel, right?
Yeah.
Remember in I think it's Lady Sings the Blues.
Okay.
When Billy D. Williams was walking out on her because that relationship was getting crazy.
Yeah.
It was either that movie or the other one.
Yeah.
And as he's walking away, Diana Ross says, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that Tracee Ellis Ross may actually have that same mentality when she's in a relationship? She's Miss Tracee Ellis Ross, Miss Emmy. I think she's won an Emmy or something. She's won something.
She did.
You know, she's been very accomplished in her acting career.
Of course.
And she's only going to be in a relationship where she's on top.
Yes.
So maybe that's what's going on, because if she actually really wanted to make an actual genuine connection, then she would get with a man of quality. I'm sure she would get to that point because she would understand, I need to be humble enough to get a man who actually wants to even be around me and thinks that I'm actually pleasant to be around. But I think she wants that of a certain income.
I can see that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's what disqualifies her right there. And if she's dating men of her income that are older, that she's talking about the control and stuff like that, no, I don't think it's control. I think those men in their leadership, in terms of guidance, because of what they do, they probably told her, hey, you've been moving this way, but now you with me, you got to move this way now.
Right.
Because I feel that this is more of a healthy thing.
Right.
And I don't know the circles that she wants to be a part of, but Hollywood freak offs and all that kind of stuff that be going on. We don't know what Tracee's into.
No, we don't know. We don't know.
And a man of a certain age is not going to be down with that. But a younger man who's been admiring her and probably looking up to her when he was younger and worshiping her, and so as Joan on Girlfriends, is the simp that you're talking about, Zacchaeus, that can't wait to get with her and will let her run the show. But the moment,
absolutely, yes.
But the moment she's tired of running the show, it's away with that young man.
She's out,
and on to the next.
On to the next, yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up the show. Since Ron is our guest, I'm gonna let him get the last word. Zacchaeus, any final thoughts on today?
Well, I would say this to young women, young men. To be in a relationship is all about being able to work to complement each other. Not only complement each other, but always learn to be humble. Be humble. Always putting away the arrogant attitude, because let's face it. When you have it doesn't matter what you have, what you possess. If you have an arrogant attitude, you're going to be single for a long time, and you may not find the very one that God put in your path is going to pass you right by. So always learn to be understanding, listen to somebody, what they say, try to enjoy each other's company, and just try to be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't try to just lean on your money, lean on your accolades, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when it comes to how that person feels about you. If that person enjoys your company and they love being around you and they just enjoy your company and she truly likes being around you, it's not all about, because you can walk in a park and enjoy each other's company without spending no money. You can go to a diner, sip some tea and enjoy each other's company and just spend maybe about $10, but you just enjoy that person's company. So stop leaning on your accolades and stop building on your character. Enough said for me. Yeah.
I agree with 100%.
Ron, the floor is yours.
Mm-hmm.
And man, and like he said to people out there, man, stop judging people by what they have. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of people are misled by material things. Mm-hmm. Oh, he has a nice car, or oh, she has this career, or she's built like this, look like this, he's this height. You gotta
that's true facts.
Go a little deeper and really get to know someone's character, because the flesh is weak. Things that glitter and shine, sometimes we're attracted to it, but you have to pray for discernment and go deeper, because we've all fell for the pretty face and all that. And some of those people are just very ugly inside. So I would recommend people really take their time with people and pray, normalize praying and asking God, is this it? Because sometimes we rely on our own desires. Well, we'll always be misled. Sure.
That's what's up. Hey, Ron, let the people know where they can reach you, your social handles and everything, and what you got, to promote.
So yeah, man, my TikTok, Grandpa Ron 91. That's where I'm mainly at. And Instagram, Gentleman Ron, just like the handle on here. And yeah, you can hit me up for conversations, advice, or even if you have topics you want me to talk about, hit me up, man. I'm easy to reach. And yeah, man. That's
what's up. Zacchaeus, where can they reach you?
You can reach me on Zacchaeus B73 on Instagram. Also Wayne Backus on Instagram. Also on Facebook, Wayne Backus 167. Also on TikTok, Zacchaeus, Wayne Backus Zacchaeus on TikTok as well. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all can reach me at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On TikTok, Fifth General TV. All right, so we're gonna get up out of here. Very good show. I was honored to have Ron on the show.
Yes.
We'll have to have Ron back.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man. I enjoy it.
Oh man, it's definitely an honor, definitely a pleasure.
It's all love, definitely.
Definitely a pleasure.
We're gonna sign off, and we'll see y'all next time. This was another episode of Mrs. Z and Fifth saying peace, y'all. See y'all next time.